Hey there you guys, it is me, Random Josh, and I'm back again with another Random Monday video. And today we're going to be talking about how to react to coming out. So I was going to divide this into like separate kind of episodes, but I decided I'm going to just do it all in one huge big video. So this is for basically family members, whether it's parents or siblings, and also for friends. So let's start with parents. Even if you suspect your child is gay, bisexual, lesbian, whatever, don't pressurize them into coming out. Let them kind of have their time and do it whenever they feel right. But obviously give them the right environment. Don't kind of give them that wrong environment to come out into. That don't, like, help them to feel safe and secure, and because sometimes you can look up to your parents and be like, I really don't want to come out to you just because I know you're gonna go on or you're gonna make a big deal out of it, and it's not nice. Which actually leads me on to the next one, which is don't make a big deal out of it. Like, if your child comes out to you, like, that is a huge thing, and that should not be overlooked. Your child has had confidence in you, which is really hard. Believe me, I've been there. I really struggled with it. Most of you know, like, I didn't even come out properly to my family. Like, they actually had to ask me, which I wish would have been different, which is why I'm kind of giving this advice to you all. But yeah, so like, don't go the full Lindsay Lohan on your child. Do not sit there and be like, we support you, and like, don't, just chill, You don't need to make a huge deal out of it. You don't need to constantly be on their back about being gay or constantly mentioning it, because it's not a big deal. The more you mention it, the more that you kind of setting it into that child's mind that, oh my god, I'm different, Just treat them normal. Treat them like you normally would treat them. Treat them like a human being, because honestly, being treated differently makes it a big difference. But obviously, last of all, definitely let them know that you do support them, even if it's hard for you. Let them know that you will be there for them when they need you, because at the end of the day, you're their parents. You're the people that they look up to, and it's hard if your parents don't accept you. That has a huge effect on their future, how they grow up, what kind of person they're going to be. So just by giving that little bit of acknowledgement and support will really help them. Again, like, I know I've been saying don't go too overboard. Obviously you don't want to be constantly on their back giving them support. You want to just be able to have general little chats with your child, or I say child in like a way because usually coming out age is like between, I'd say, 16 and sometimes even 20s. Like, everyone's different obviously, but like, I say child within a kind of reason. Obviously they could be an adult, but they are your child. I'm technically an adult, I'm no child, but I am my mother's and father's child, if you see what I mean. That's where I'm saying child for. I thought I'd just clarify that because I'm thinking weirdly as well. But yeah, again, sorry, I'm going off track. But when I say giving your child support, I don't mean constantly being on their back. I mean kind of just being a safe base for them. Let them know that if they do need something, that you're there for them to kind of seek that help. You're not kind of forcing the help, you're just kind of there, which is actually really helpful, because sometimes growing up being gay, it's hard. You're thinking of a lot of different things. There are like lots going through your head. You've got relationships, having to worry about people around you, appearance things, like especially when you're a teenager, you're just going crazy. But like there's so much hate in the world that sometimes you do just need someone's support, just to be like, it's okay, you're fine. And not all the time is that there for them. So you being there for your child, letting them know that they're normal to you and that there's nothing to worry about, and just to kind of give them a shoulder to cry on, even, like, that will really, really help in the long run, because they won't grow up to be some emotionless monster, you know. They'll be able to seek guidance in others and not just have to hide away and enclose themselves in their rooms forever. Anyway, let's move on now to siblings. So, siblings, this is a kind of broad one because it depends. Obviously, some people don't have siblings, some people do have lots of siblings, some people only have one or two siblings. Everyone's different, every family is different, but I'm just talking in general. So it's very similar to like the parents kind of thing, but obviously you're the ones that are closer, more or less, to said gay sibling or whatever. Just kind of be the same. Don't treat them don't treat them differently, because if you start treating your brother or sister differently just because of the way that their sexuality is, like, it's just silly, and it makes them feel stupid and horrible and wrong when they're not. They've literally done nothing wrong. They're not forcing it onto you. Obviously, if they are and you feel uncomfortable, definitely bring it up. But in the long run, it's not a huge difference. It's not a huge deal. They're still the same person that they were. And if you had a good relationship, why would you throw that down the drain just because of a sexuality? It's stupid. It's fucking dumb. And another one is just, again, be that kind of supporting role. You're their brother or sister. Like, if it was the opposite way round, put yourself in kind of their shoes. Would they support you? Yes, of course. Well, I say of course. I mean, I don't really know. But, you know, put yourself in their shoes and say, would they support me? And then if you do that and your answer is no, be the bigger person. Support them. Because they'll realise that they can actually have faith in you, they will trust you, and you'll have a great bond. Because at the end of the day, I mean, if you're an older sibling, you've got more of a kind of, not parental role, but you've got more of a carer's role. If you're a younger sibling, it's a little bit different, but just show your love to them, because sometimes you do feel like you're so secluded and you just want someone to be able to kind of have these chats with, and sometimes you're having a chat about certain things with your parents is not at all visible. So siblings are like the next level down where sometimes you can speak to them. Again, there's still times where you can't speak to your siblings, but you're kind of the ones that are there and that you can seek certain bits of guidance from. So if you're not going to be there for them, they're going to be like, what the hell? What can I do? And that's when mistakes are made. So it's important to show that you're there for them and help them, guide them through this, because it's a difficult time. And of course, you know, let them come out when they want to. Don't pressurize them to come out. Obviously, you can get like subtle little hints, because sometimes you do drive yourself into like that kind of mindset of, I'm never coming out, I'm gonna like just hide it, which is not healthy for them. But obviously you don't want to pressurize them and make them more stressed, because it is stressful having like people constantly on your back about it. It's not nice. You feel attacked almost. So kind of, it's a hard kind of balance between that. So you want to kind of subtly help them, but you don't want to be too full on and too pressurizing and too obvious. But yes, let's now move on to friends. So friends, like, you don't choose family, obviously, you choose your friends. If you've been friends with this person for a really long time, what the hell difference does their sexuality make? You've known them for years, let's say, and just because they've come out, they're not different. They're the same person that they were when you first made friends with them. Over all of the memories and years that you've had together, they're the same person. So why the hell would you treat them differently? Now, another thing I want to just say is, obviously, you guys, as the friends of a potential gay person or an actual gay person that's come out to you already, you're at that kind of low, I say low level, but when I say that, I mean the high level is the parents, where it's really hard to talk to sometimes. Middle is the siblings, which is slightly easier but still a little bit difficult. You're at that low level where it's more comfortable. You're more likely to be sought for help and advice and guidance. So you need to make sure that you're actually there for them. Even if you can't give the right guidance, just show that you're there and you're always thinking about them, because it's difficult. It really, really is. And I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot, but it is difficult having to like come out and, you know, do all the normal stuff. But just, even if it's like an uncomfortable chat that you're trying to have, obviously if it's really uncomfortable for you, do mention it to them. Be like, look, I'm sorry, I don't fully feel comfortable talking about this, but I do support you. Obviously kind of reinforce it, back it up with that, because if you just kind of back away from them and kind of cut them off almost, they're gonna feel alone and secluded, and you're that last line. If that line's cut, then they're gonna feel like they have no one. And when they feel like they have no one, that's when suicides and all these kind of horrible things that you hear in the news, they're real. They happen every day, and they're for reasons because people didn't react not correctly, but in the best way possible to someone coming out. Which is why I'm actually making this video, because I want to show that, like, I want to give guidance to those who aren't of the gay nature. Just a bit of insight into how, me as a gay, how I would love to have certain things, you know, the things that I wish I had when I was coming out, the things that I did have when I was coming out. I had a lot of support from my friends, which was really, really helpful. They didn't make it a kind of pestering thing. It was just like, oh yeah, you are. Who gives a shit, you know? That is what you need. Like, if you're constantly making it a big deal, it's not nice. It's really not nice. And you do need just support. That's like the most important thing, is support. Support them through anything, because bad choices will be made. And you're the ones that will help them in the really kind of major choices, really, because they're the ones that are probably most likely to come to you for kind of sexual advice, which is obviously, again, it's an awkward topic, but just try and be there and guide them. Obviously, you don't want to listen to the whole scenario. I mean, you might do, but if you don't, like, just tell them that you don't, but still help them without having to listen to it, if you know what I mean. One last thing I do want to mention about friends, though, is don't feel pressured to kind of be a certain way with them, like let them off with everything because you're gay, it's fine, don't worry. Like, just treat them like you normally would, because at the end of the day, they chose you as their friend, and obviously you've got that friend connection. they're not going to let something stupid get in the way, and neither should you. You shouldn't let something stupid like sexuality get in the way of your friendship. And as a friend, you should really just be that safe base for them, someone that they can confide in, because sometimes you do go through hard moments and you need someone to talk to, and having a friend there to talk to you about things can really help bring that weight off of you and let you feel normal. Because with that weight, that weighs down a lot. It makes you think about it. It makes you constantly worry about things. And when you worry about things constantly, you're not focused on the more important things like school or your job or your education. I've already said school, but you know, we're gonna go with education as well. If you're doing like coursework, homework, even exams, that all just goes because you've got a huge weight on your shoulders and no one to kind of help with that weight. You need to kind of be able to burden the weight off and just relax, and almost, I mean, you're not going to take all of their weight from them, you're just going to help them take the weight off and put it away. You know, you don't need to become weighed down because of them. That's like the one priority that I'd definitely say. As much as I'm preaching that you need to support them and stuff, know your own boundaries and know how much you can take on, because you've got a life to live as well. You've got your own kind of weights on your shoulders, so don't take on extra baggage if you can't handle it. Just be the support still. But anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed that video of me rambling on about coming out and gayness and, you know. But I will see y'all in the next video. Peace out, bitches.